There's a direct correlation with murder and education. If you educate the child and he's able to get a great job, he's able to go to college, he's able to reach out and be a great tradesman or wherever he chooses to do, as long as he has the education, he's able to do that. But when he's not educated, he has to fall back on what he knows. And what he knows is what he learns from the street. So let's take time out and let's reach out to our young people. Let's love on them. Let's talk to those leaders that are in charge. We got to June the 15th to let our leaders know that this is the time that we're going to speak out and you're going to do us right.
In the local control funding formula, as folks hear about it and start to say, well, it's a good thing, but, and from many elected officials, you'll hear, yeah, I like the idea of local control funding formula, but, and then they'll start to say how it it helps some, but it hurts their school district. And they'll try to turn it into, well, you don't really want to help the low-income school districts by hurting the higher-income school districts, do you? You don't want to do that, and I'm here to say, let's not go down that road. Let's not turn support of local control funding formula into a hills versus flatland debate. Let's say this is about equity, and the students at Castlemont High School and Fremont High School and McClymonds High School, and maybe even Skyline High School, they deserve quality funding like other school districts. And I'm here to say we're not going to let this support of local control funding formula be something that divides our community.
Every day at Skyline, I run into associates, friends who skip class, and it's the same excuse every time. My teachers don't care. They stay yelling at me. She gonna kick me out. I got suspended. I was arguing with my teacher. I don't have tools. I don't have a book to read with. And to me, it sounds like we have no motivation. We don't even have the tools to motivate us to graduate. So without motivation or the tools to motivate us, we're not going to graduate, and that non-graduation rate is going to go higher. So what are we to do? We obviously need more money, and I know the solution, and you do too, local control funding formula. And I'm here to say that I support it, and I'm down, so I hope you are too.
If you had an extra, say your school got an extra $10,000, what would you spend that money on?
Most definitely guidance counselors, definitely, first.
Okay, so we cut a bunch of our guidance counselors out. That would really help you out a lot. That's what many of the schools that we're talking about around the funding formula, we don't have the money for those, what we call supplemental, but actually are the core program. And so that's what this is all about, making sure that our kids have those resources, have that counseling that they need. Thank you. I support it.
PICO California is one of the state's biggest organizations. And for a lot of our families, education is the way that they're going to achieve their dreams. Maybe the imagery is that education is a life raft, that they're paddling, trying to get to the shore of opportunity, of citizenship, of belonging. And they're looking around and they're seeing that the life raft that they're in is leaky. It's about to go down, and they paddle and they look around and see that some of the life rafts that people are paddling in look pretty nice. They are almost more cruise ships than life rafts. And that doesn't seem quite right. And they say, shouldn't all the life rafts be equal? And that's what we're about, is trying to make sure that there's equity, that the people who are paddling so hard, working so hard, trying so hard just to get to the shore of opportunity, that their life raft is good and solid and doesn't sink. Everybody deserves that. So I have some questions. Will Senator Hancock be a champion at this historic moment for low-income students and English learners, and fight to ensure that the needs of these students are prioritized through both supplemental and concentration funding? And will Senator Hancock meet directly with members of our coalition by May 15th to discuss passage of the local control funding formula by June 30th, 2013?
So we are definitely working with the governor's office. At the end of the day, this is the governor's show. He gets to decide what he approves in the budgetary process. However, the Senate has some serious concerns with what this means in terms of equity for the neediest students. We want to be sure that the funding is secured for ELL, English language learners, and school sites that have more than 50% ELL and at-need students. So we are definitely in agreement with the substance of what you're saying here.
Okay, so thank you. I just want to reiterate, though, that I hear you saying that you can commit to a part of the senator to supplemental, but you have questions about the concentration grants. And I would just ask that you take back to the senator our commitment to both supplemental and concentration, that we think that the students represented here need both, their schools need both, their families need both, their communities need both. We don't view it as a either-or proposition for us and our families. It's definitely a both-and proposition. So you'll at least carry that commitment back for us. Thank you.
I myself have family members that didn't make it to college. Only one of my uncles graduated and went to UC Davis. As my mom, she got pregnant at the age of 16, so it was really hard for her to attend school. She graduated but didn't go to college, and since then she's really struggling right now. And this affects me because I want to be able to attend a 4-year college and find a job that helps me be successful. So for all these reasons, I really hope Assembly Member Bonta support LCFF, because we need equity and fairness in the way we fund schools so that all students in California can get a high quality education.
So the next question that we have for both of you again is that will you work with us, or the offices of Assemblymember Skinner and Bonta, and you also carry the message, right, as you guys are also advocates and you guys are people, ensuring that there are strong accountability mechanisms in place, including at the state level. This is for both of you.
Accountability for funding is, I'm assuming, what the question is, and absolutely Nancy's very open to talking to people. I know one of the questions on meeting, but Nancy's committed to meeting and looking at accountability and how funding is spent.
Similarly, Assemblymember Bonta is committed to working on accountability measures as you have outlined here.